If you guys have ever wondered why I hate that damage over time doesn't kill, this is the reason why. Look at this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whoa, baby. Oh. Uh-oh. Come on. Get out of it. So obnoxious. Well, that's our S1, by the way. What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and it is time to go over the lovely fire hot mama that is Electra. We got her, as you can see on the left side of the screen, looking fine and dandy, but let's look at her original version. You know, this is what you start off with, right? You know, and then she gets a little dapper, you know, and then she full armored out, and then of course now you can get her in the lovely version. The hair gets longer, she looks way more crazy, got the fire coming out from the top. Woo! This is the beautiful Electra, man. Funny enough, she was actually one of the more common units in the Sid dungeon. The thing about Sid's dungeon is that you didn't really want counter, but she was pretty much like gonna auto counter all the time because of her passives. And now, even now, her new version, she counters a lot, but now there's definitely easier ways to combat that with just, you know, immunity. You know, she can now be easily used in Sid's dungeon, Kali's dungeon now, especially once we go over what her changes are, and a lot of other dungeons as well. She's actually gone over a lot of great things, so let's just get into it of what she's all about. So first and foremost, we're gonna look at the leader skill, and is now increases the allies by 60% if there are 5 heroes. Also increases all allies max HP if Haspel is in the party. So funny enough, she does now have some ignition stuff, so now she knows she's Dryan, and it's funny, she should feel like she should be in with the Emperor's Children, but now all allies get that. Putting them together actually would be nuts, by the way, with all these changes. So let's go with let's look at the passives first. Actually, I think that's a bigger thing to look at. So 50% chance to burn the attacker for 30% of their attack. So 50% chance to burn them if you get attacked. 60% chance to ignite. Now the ignite is a brand new damage over time that was introduced with Haspel, and now she also has it as well. This is an ignore any defensive anything that is on the character and will do damage. This will always do damage, pretty much, which is crazy how strong this can be. For her, it's just another damage over time she's going to be putting on you, but she has a 60% chance to ignite the attacker as well when she gets attacked. So either you're gonna 50% chance to burn, 60% chance to get ignited. She also now has a resolve, which she did not have before, and she also decreases allies damage taken by 35% if the caster is Fire Incarnate. Then we are going to see here that she now gets Fire Incarnate. I think is actually no, that might be the third passive. I'm jumping ahead. Becomes immune to resolve disabled with now her 60 passive. Always counterattacks when attacked by burned or ignited enemies, which gives her a crazy amount of synergy with other fire-based characters. Now she also has a 70% chance to inflict blaze. This is, oh, they just changed it to be a regular debuff. Interesting. And when you get attacked, you will take 200% of the attacker's attack, not hers, when you ignite a blaze when attacking burned or ignited enemies. So she has a 70% chance to put the blaze debuff on you, and someone else could follow up. She will most likely be the one that's following up, by the way, with this. So yeah, the gameplay loop of her is that you hit her, you get burned and ignited, then she starts to auto counterattack when you burn, since you're burned or ignited. Then she hits you back, and then you will get a blaze put on you because you're burned or ignited. And she just starts to do a lot of DPS. This is what the first kind of iteration of a DPS kind of tank, that all these damage over time and all this blaze, she'll just slowly chunk you down while you really can't deal with it because she has tank based stats. That is what it is, ironically, right? So then I was gonna say let's save it for last, but now we can't do that. We got to just go into it. Now this is the full investment passive, which is she becomes Fire Incarnate for 2 turns at the start of the wave. So for 2 turns, this is a 4-turn cooldown. Her S2, which also gains a Fire Incarnate, as you can see, even goes up to 3 turns, right? So now you can start off with that, and as you guys know, that's where all the crazy stuff happens. allies taking less damage. Now, for at least the first 2 turns, your allies are taking 35% less damage because she's there. And very hard to nuke her because she has resolve, and with 60 passive, you can't break the resolve either. So you're pretty much stuck with her. And she's going to be reducing the damage, especially with this. Now, she is guaranteed to reflect damage equal to 250% of defense when hit while the caster is Fire Incarnate. This is opening up her build like crazy. So now for 2 turns plus all the other turns with the S2, she is reflecting damage for a decent portion of her defense. Now also, she's granting protection to all allies excluding herself, which for 2 turns at the start of the battle. So you can't even try to hit other characters in the beginning. You can't burst her or anything of that nature. It's ridiculous how she just comes into the fight, and now everybody on your team has a free reign to attack and do whatever they want for at least 2 turns. Ruby, she would take off the protection of the attackers, and then you can attack the attackers and other defenders in the group. If there's no Ruby, there's not many other characters that can strip those protections. The only other character that comes to mind that can help with that would be like Cynthia, because she puts the melancholy. If a character has melancholy, they can bypass the protection. So that's another way around it. Also, obviously, AoE stuff is going to do that damage. But also, keep in mind that she's going to be taking a lot of damage from cones and from AoE attacks, because she's taking the damage for all those allies. Now, the crazy part, obviously, is that she's going to reflect that damage equal to 250% of her defense. So this might be the first character that they've made that you should actually build defense on. So that's going to be very, very crazy to see. Obviously, I'll go over that in the rune portion of it, but let's look at the skills. Now, her S1 is okay. It's a cone. It's a single target attack that has a chance to hit in a cone. Now finally they changed it, so now if you actually get enough Electras and get this to the S3, it is now a guaranteed cone hit, which makes her dramatically better for Kali. One of her issues in Kali is that she would hit a target and then she wouldn't hit the spread, which made Ian pretty much like a better option. But now a lot of people who were doing Sid do have a level 6 S1 Electra, and now they're going to be very rewarded for it. So it's going to be really amazing. Plus it's a 2-turn taunt, 65% chance. She's going to be countering automatically, so you don't even have to worry about that. So you're going to see this is definitely right now one of the best things to do to level up, because of this change in her and the fact that she's countering pretty much automatically. So if you're leveling her up and getting the awakening, S1 max is looking pretty good. Next up is going to be the Fire Incarnate. She becomes Fire Incarnate for 2 turns, going up to 3 turns, as you can see here, and she gives a damage immunity to all allies for 2 turns, but it doesn't matter that it's 2 turns, because once you get hit once, it goes away, right? So all that kind of doesn't matter. But she also has a 70%, sorry, not 70, let's look at level 1, 40% chance to burn everyone for 2 turns, which also synergizes with her other passives, and 3-turn burn once you actually max it out. So this one doesn't seem too impressive. The only thing here is obviously the Fire Incarnate for 3 turns. After having it for 2 turns for free would be amazing. That's 5 turns uptime. Then when you have this here for 3 turns, then the skill cooldown, woo, you can have her on that crazy uptime too. And they actually seem to have taken out the thing where when she's Fire Incarnate and she heals. So that is missing. That was an old thing. She used to heal when she had Fire Incarnate, but now she doesn't, which makes her you need a healer to kind of balance her out. I don't see that here anywhere. So yeah. Next up and last but not least is the S3. It's an AoE penetration thing. What this is here for, usually before, was the kind of AoE attack break and AoE put blaze, which is here. Yeah, the AoE put blaze on the blade. Now it's only on burned and ignited enemies, so a little bit more work. But she's kind of a character that you didn't really want to S3 in the beginning anyway. You wanted the S2 and S1. So now that changes. And then obviously if you max it out, now does more decent damage AoE, 60% chance to decrease their attack, and a 70% chance to taunt for 2 turns. And it looks like the taunt is always 2 turns, even from the beginning. So I would still say, if you are leveling Electra, I definitely have to recommend the S1 max, then the S2 max for the longer Fire Incarnate and the longer burn and the higher chance to burn as well. The 2 turns of damage immunity is also okay, but like I said, if it gets hit once, it goes away. But it at least allows you that, let's say if your turn comes The crappy part about it being one turn, if you go after Electra and then the enemy goes after your next ally, then the damage immunity didn't do anything. So getting it to like +3, then all of a sudden it's 2 turns, that means your allies can act without, you know, while still being protected. So that's pretty good. And then after that, just max this out. Like, it's an AoE hit on a tank, so it's not gonna really do too much. So nothing too crazy there. So after that, let's just go straight into her base stats. I'm still working on it, still getting there. 19,000 HP, and you'll see that my runes are pretty garbage. Definitely built her a long time ago, and she's had these runes since 82. But let's look at her base stats. This is actually the first tank I think that I'm covering. So let's go over the base stats of an SSR tank. All right, so let's see if the base stats of an SSR tank are exactly the same. Just want to double check myself on cam, on video. So the base, like I said, is 10,501 HP, and the defense is 2624. And we see here Murdoch, if we subtract 14,904 from 4,403, it is 10,501, and the defense, same thing, 3985 minus 1361 is 2624, so it is exactly the same. So the HP and defense are the same across the board. The only thing that you're going to see a difference is going to be the speed, even though his speed is also 1016. Makes me curious if this is 1016 as well. No, see, 1036. So they definitely do vary in speed, but Murdoch and Electra happen to run the same 10-meter dash. All right, outside of that, let's just go into the loveliness that is the runes. Now, funny enough, obviously you see HP and defense. That's kind of something that you would want to run. This now with her new passive, the new third skill here, that she reflects damage when she's fire incarnate, scaling off her defense. The defense set is definitely going to be pretty good. But let's look about some other options as well. Taunt Rune set is kind of an interesting one. It is a way to guarantee that characters will randomly start to attack you when you use upon using a skill. So as she's counter-attacking, right, with her build, this is nuts by the way, as she's counter-attacking and attacking and multi-striking, she will actually has a 30% chance to then randomly taunt another character, then hit her, then she'll counterattack. The loop is great. I only suggest taunting when, you know, the character benefits from being hit in some sort of way and they could probably, I don't know, survive the actual hit. So the Taunt Rune set is actually really good. It's one of my favorite. I remember when people used to put this on Kane. Ooh, it was so funny because they would just waste time hitting into his damage absorption. It's pretty funny. So yeah, so really good on Taunt Rune set. Poison is definitely a very specific tech that you're gonna have to think about because it is on the S1. It says successful skill 1 attack, obviously 40% chance every time she attacks. Multi-attacks, yeah, sorry, S1 attacks obviously, and multi-strikes and counter-strikes, you'll have a chance to put poison. Poison is really good because it does disrupt healing in this game. You will negate healing, and not only negate it, you will also do damage to a portion of the heal. So being able to stop people from actually healing is a really good tech, but I would say it's more on a specific dungeon-esque stuff, so it's kind of hard to like tech it on to just leave it there forever, but it's still good. It's still a dot damage. Burrs, hi Burrs, how you doing? I swear, like, every character is getting damage over time. Not only now that she have a chance to put burn, she now has a chance to put ignite. Both being damage over time, I would say that burst is a little bit better than the, say, Dominion set, because there's going to be more uptime of damage over time. And since so many characters in the game seem to have damage over time, I see that this would be a really good tech. Multi-strike. Now multi-strike is obviously delicioso. I really like it. I like it more specifically if you're going like taunt, because that just seems really funny. But multi-strike allows her to get in more attacks, having more chances to taunt the enemy, especially when she has that S1 maxed out, the S to the level 6. Really good to just constantly just this barraging of attacks, constantly putting burns, ignites, blaze, burn, ignite, blaze, burn, ignite, blaze, just constantly on the target, and she's just sitting there peltering these characters, and just a nice extra stat. Multi-striking is always good. It's usually not a bad thing, and again, once that S1 is at level 6, this is just a insane amount of additional damage. Putting the blaze on the target, then triggering the blaze, and then putting another blaze on the target. It's ridiculous amounts of damage. She used to be able to solo Sid's dungeon just for that factor, especially on multi-strike. So if you're having any troubles, especially I have so many new people that are struggling and you can't get like that cute thing that is the burst, multi-strike defense, and you'll see so much work come out of this character. Oh, you have no idea. It's ridiculous. Life also is very good. Obviously, giving her more HP is not a bad thing, but HP, if you are going HP, make sure you got better substats here. Obviously, you're not going to run that because of what I just said. Let's see if I can find one. This one's not bad, but obviously triple multi-strike or double multi-strike attack or some stupid thing, or double multi-strike HP increase would be a better option. Make sure that your substats are good if you're going on life, because you don't want to just give HP and do nothing with it. Definitely not going assault. And then after that is the illustrious Rune of Protection. I definitely would love to see how insane of damage she can put out with maybe even triple Rune of Protection, raising that defense up to as high as possible. I would do another video on that because it's I know it's a good thing, but as far as like showcasing stuff, that's not what I like to do in guides. I like to give people insight of multiple ways to use the character. I don't want to showcase stuff because you might not get the same rune set that I got, and then people are like, well, the triple defense is the only way to go, look at this video. It's like, no, that's not how that works. I think more people are very interested to see how much damage this actually would do, but until then, I would definitely say multi-strike, continuity, and then possibly burst if you have it. If not, maybe continuity, HP, something of that nature, or just triple HP and then really good substats, and you should be fine. She literally, based on their base stats, they just get an insane amount of HP and defense without really doing anything. As you can see, mine's almost 20,000 HP. I'm just, because I'm running 2 HPs, right? These are 999, 669, right? 2 HPs, 4, 5, 6 HP increases, and that's really not that hard to get, honestly. Just especially right now, rune dungeon is double. Just farm and you'll get some decent rune sets out of here and you'll be ready to go. Next up, let's go to the loveliness that is the hero talents. And I did her a long time ago. Oh man, a long time ago. So let's go over it real quick with each other. Now the S3, she already has an S3 that taunts, so there's no reason to do that. And I pretty much never suggest this. So we'll definitely go with the defense up. And then for the 52, obviously it depends where you're gonna use them. Now you do have the option to do this. Now I generally don't suggest to do this because it's only your S2. And it's 50% chance to give the reflect, but the reflect is not that good, and I always have to explain this. The reason why reflect isn't that good is because your characters don't do insane damage to you. They'll do like 10,000, 17,000 to you, and like you'll die because you don't have more than 17,000 HP. But your characters with all the bonuses and all that crap in a dungeon will do like 100,000 damage or like 200,000 damage or something. That's why when a character has reflect, you die, but when you have reflect, you don't. So I was thinking you probably want to go with one of these depending on where you're going to use her, but reflect on top of the other reflect would actually be some type of damage. I would be interested to see that, but for the time being, just go with where you're going to use her. That's always the safest bet. Next up, we're going to go with the 54. Increase attack? No, we don't care about that. No, we don't care about that. This one is pretty good, obviously, because you're lowering the attack every time you attack, and if you have the multi-strike, you're going to be multi-striking. On top of that, if you're countering also, you're going to be triggering this a lot. This one's also not that bad because she has a lot of damage over time stuff, but her attack is generally going to be low, so this is usually your best bet. Now this one for tanks have always been the hardest of the, just kidding. So like increased damage, you don't really care about this. You don't really care about this on bosses, not at all. What you really care about is just this. It's pretty low chance, but when you get attacked, you will protect another unit for 1 turn. Now she does protect units for 2 turns in the beginning once you get that passive going, but you know, the ability to taunt, make people hit you, then you protect the character. Protection always goes on the ally with the lowest HP, so it's always useful if it triggers. Now last but not least, you have this lovely passive. Now before I would definitely say counterattack, but now once you get that, you know, the S2, the 60%, the 60 passive, there's no point of doing this. So then it's critical strike, which you really don't care about. And then this one, it's pretty low, 10% chance to get damage immunity, but it's a lifesaver. When it really triggers, all of a sudden you're going to be taking so many attacks, and then all of a sudden you get damage immunity. If they don't have a penetration skill up and ready and available to go, or a penetration skill enough to kill you, then yes. And this will then, you can actually practice multiple times. There's no limit on it. So definitely go with the damage immunity. And then after that is, of course, your beautiful, lovely auto counter, immune to resolve disabled BS that you've known to love and hate probably going in the future, because this is brand new to her. This is a brand new change. If you guys have ever wondered why I hate that damage over time doesn't kill, this is the reason why. Look at this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whoa, baby. Oh. Uh-oh. Come on. Get out of it. So obnoxious. Well, that's our S1, by the way. Here we go. We're going to check out that S2. We can see the Fire Incarnate. She turns Fire Incarnate. Funny, that's the name of the thing. And she gives an AoE damage immunity as well, as we discussed. And she has a chance to burn. Really cool. Makes it look, I used to think that that's like damage immunity was that's how it looks for all the things, but that's just like how it looks in general. How can someone that's like on fire be frozen? You see our gameplay loop. Boom, I got attacked with it, and she has a burn or ignition. I attack back. You have burn of ignition. See, he didn't have burn when he first started, so he didn't get that little thing. Then now I have a chance to put, he already has blaze, but I can put it right back on. Didn't happen. No, did get it. That's what's crazy about it. See, the multi-attack would have been boom, boom, constantly putting it on, and then boom, does it again. It's like a really cool like thing that will just keep happening over and over and over again. I'm gonna defend. Doesn't have a burn on him, but now he does because he hit me, right? So attack him, gets burned, multi-strike. Then if he would have hit me, I would have counter-attacked there. It's crazy how, oh, whew, she's gonna be such a monster. And remember, with the with the awakening passive, she'll be protecting everyone. That the hit back, these counterattacks will be doing so much more damage. So look out, guys, for Electra. Hope you guys enjoyed your time here. We're gonna check out the S3 and be on out. And if you like the content, please subscribe, follow, show it to your friends. Be like, this is the Electra build that we all deserve, and it is, and it always will be. And that's it. Electra, baby, take us home. Eat my bad breath. Oh, it didn't kill. Oh, word. That counts. That's like part of the S3. It was like part of the S3. But like I said, her S3 does no damage. Max the L1, fellas. Max the skill 1.